Hello, guys, welcome to the Collector Life. I'm Nihal Gopinathan, and today we are here to have a good time. Why, you ask? Because I've not one, not two, but I have three DC Direct figures to talk about. Now, if you've handled DC Direct figures before, you'll know that the articulation is limited usually, but the sculpt and paint apps are so on point that you'll feel they've popped right out of the comic books. That's why a whole lot of them are sought after, and they're rather hard to find. Two of them today are from the New Gods storyline, imagined and drawn by the god himself, Jack Kirby. Now, before we get into the actual review, here's a little interesting fact about Jack Kirby. The idea of the New Gods had come to him years earlier. When he was plotting Tales of Asgard for Thor. He wanted to have two planets at war and end with Ragnarok, the battle that would kill Thor and his pantheon. But, since he was at loggerheads with Marvel at the time, he decided to go to the rival instead. Pretty cool, right? Marvel's loss is DC's gain. Now let's get on to the actual review. I have two figures mint in box and one loose. So logic dictates that I should go with the figure that's loose. Okay, Orion, it's time to be reviewed. Okay, guys, so Orion is a new god who hails from New Genesis, but is originally from the planet Apocalypse. His father is Darkseid, but he was raised by the High Father. And you thought your life was confusing and you had questions, huh? You see, Darkseid is the tyrannical ruler of the planet Apocalypse, while the High Father is the chief of the New Gods from the New Genesis planet. Remember that part where I spoke of two, planets at war with each other? Exactly what I'm talking about. Now let's take a closer look at the figure itself. As you could expect from the DC Direct line, the sculpting, the paint apps, all on point. Just, oh my god, just look at that face. It's like I'm reading the comic book right now. It's just so good. You can find, the genius of Jack Kirby all over this. And as we move down, I love these nice solid colors. As you can see, lovely red going down there. Nice blue boxes with the silver belt. And this thing in his hand. Now, for those of you who are wondering what this is a mother box. What does a mother box do? In the DC universe, a mother box is used to open a boom tube. Boom tubes are used for interdimensional and interplanetary travel, and that's exactly why Orion is holding it in his hand. Because to travel to Apocalypse and to New Genesis, you need a mother box. And a mother box that opens a boom tube. Without that, you can't travel. Sorry. That's like your ticket to, anywhere in the universe. So let's go further down. And then we see, on this nifty little base, we see the alternate head of Orion. Oh my god. That's beautifully hideous. That's the best oxymoron I could come up with, because it's beautiful because it's so accurate and the details are so fine, but it's hideous because it's hideous. You can see the master's influence all over this. This is Jack Kirby through and through, and I think he would have been pretty proud of this figure if he was alive today. Bless his soul, rest in peace. But yeah, if you're a New Gods fan and if you swear by the comics and if you swear by Jack Kirby, this is a figure you must have in your collection, and it's the reason I bought it to, add it to my collection. So yeah, that's it for Orion, and let's move on to the next review, the next figure. Pretty much everyone these days is talking about Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet and, obviously. But this guy here, right here, is his counterpart from the DC Comics universe. His name is Darkseid. And no, before you get any ideas, he's not affiliated with Sith Lords from the Star Wars universe or anything like that. His name is spelled Darkseid, as you can see on the pack here. That's it. So, let's avoid any confusion there. His name is Darkseid. He's the evil, tyrannical ruler of Apocalypse, as I said. And he comes in this lovely looking pack, DC Direct pack. Let's just turn it around, give it a whirl, and see what's on the back of the pack. Ooh, some of the other figures in the line. So, I already spoke about Orion. There's Darkseid on the extreme right there with his killing glove. We'll get to that a little bit later. And you have Light Ray and Mr. Miracle. So if you can see on the back of the pack, longtime enemies, Darkseid of Apocalypse and High Father of New Genesis, thought exchanging suns would settle the feud between their planets. Years later, things have not worked out as intended. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, it's fathers and sons, and what could go wrong, right? So, you can have a look at the description on the back of the box as well. And, honestly, I've been trying to get this series of books for like a long time from Amazon, but I've seen hardcovers going for as much as 17,000 rupees, and I had to contend with reading in online version. But if any of you guys have deals, any of you guys know where I can get these comics for like cheaper, do let me know. I would want to own this. It's work of art. But have a look at the back of the pack. It's got all the descriptions of all the characters in there. And yeah, New Gods. So now that we've seen the back and the front of the pack, let's crack this baby open. There he is, the son of Yuga Khan and Hegra, standing tall and proud with the mother box in his hand. Oh man, Jack Kirby would be proud of this, or what? It's a beautiful figure. But as beautiful as he looks, he's so evil that in the comics he killed his brother Drax, who's the Infinity Man, not the Drax from Marvel, when Drax attempted to get the Omega Force for himself. His family is so screwed up that his mother Hegra ordered Desard, who's a Darkseid follower, to poison Darkseid's wife, Sully. In return, Darkseid ordered Desard to poison his own mother. He also wanted to poison Orion, but Orion was secretly switched with the High Father's son, so he escaped. No wonder this fellow looks angry all the time. Well, let's take a closer look at him then. That face right there, yep. I mean, I keep saying this, but it keeps having to be said. That is classic Kirby. The grey face, I call this the monkey cap, the blue monkey cap around it, and those lovely red eyes, those evil red eyes. And as the usual with all DC Direct figures, nice solid colors all the way through, and nice little detailed little indents on the figure to, make it look as close to Kirby's art as possible, which is like magnificent. This little kilt, they call it in Scotland, kilt, or should I call it a skirt? I don't think he'd like that. Anyway, again, mother box in his hand, ready to travel, interplanet, interdimension. And this little thing here. This little thing here is, well, you could call it, DC's answer to the Infinity Gauntlet, but this is what we call a killing glove. Now, this was fashioned by Desard for Darkseid. So, he could just kill people, at random and, get away with it. So, yeah, this figure, it's just so beautiful, and like it is with Orion, he's got a mother box and this lovely, nifty little base, and he comes with a killing glove. I mean, this figure rivals even probably the Sideshow premium format. Okay, don't tell me that I'm getting out of hand, but honestly, I mean, this is a perfect figure. And again, if you're a New Gods fan, you have to have this. Whether you're a New Gods fan or not, if you're a DC Comics fan, if you're a Darkseid fan, I mean, you need to get this in your collection. This is one of the best figures that I own, and I'm proud to say that, it's pretty rare these days, and I got it. So, get your Darkseid figures today, my friends. DC Direct figures are the best. And especially this Darkseid. Okay, I'll pull away before he gets even angrier. And that's it for Darkseid, friends. Let's move on to another figure. And there he is, DC's friendly neighborhood superhero physician, Dr. Mid-Nite. Well, in the DC universe, there have been 3 incarnations of Dr. Mid-Nite. The first being Charles McNider, the second being Dr. Elizabeth Chapel, and the third one, this particular one, being Peter Anton Cross. Now you might wonder what's so special about this guy. Thanks to an accident while investigating, a drug deal, he can only see in pitch darkness via infrared or ultrasonic vision. He created these special cowl lenses for himself to see in the day. No wonder his sidekick is an owl named Charlie. Charlie, he named it as a tribute to the first Dr. Mid-Nite, Charles McNider. And he's part of the Justice Society of America. Let's have a look at the box. Lovely little box. And I don't want to give this a whirl, but when you give it a whirl, this was Amazon's fault. They taped the box, right up to the box. And oh, sad story. Anyway, these are some of the other members of the Justice Society of America. You have Dr. Mid-Nite, you have R-Man, you have the Golden Age Atom, you have Hawkgirl, and you have Mr. Terrific. Some really amazing figures from DC Direct once again. And so without further ado, let me get this guy cracked open from the box, because, he's got one really special feature, and yeah, that's this. The owl is magnetic and it attaches to his arm. Let's see how that works out, yeah? Oh yeah, there he is, Peter Anton Cross, out of the box and looking as regal as ever. And look at that lovely little Charlie resting on his arm just like that. I must warn you though, the magnet isn't that strong, so you have to, balance him in a certain way to, make him stick. So I've made him stick, and wow, it looks really lovely, from up here. Look at the special cowl lenses I was talking about, the sign of the crescent on his head. And, once again, fantastic work from DC Direct. Even the owl, even Charlie looks so amazing, nice little detailing, even on his wings and his... Okay, he kind of looks stoned here. Smoke weed. But yeah, that's fine. That doesn't matter really. And, looking at the figure, once again, great use of color. Looks like it popped out right out of the comic books. And lovely little base, Justice Society of America. And yeah, that's it. I mean, this figure is just so amazing. It looks really good, and I'm kind of glad I got this at a good deal on Amazon. You need to keep looking for deals like these. And if you look at his cape, oh, there you go. See what I told you about the owl dropping down? Let me try to put it back here. Oh, come on, stand there. Yeah. Okay, fine. I won't mess around with him much. But anyway, yeah, that's the figure. Basically that's Peter Anton Cross with his owl Charlie, and he is the guy you need to go to if you have any, problems. Not your usual, stomach upsets and colds. I mean, if you have a severed arm or maybe broken face, he can fix it for you. Really, he can. He's a damn good doctor. And that concludes my first review video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys are tempted to buy these figures, because I shouldn't be the only one in this hobby. I want everyone else to be involved as well. And look forward to my next video coming up soon. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.